What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. Show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and Discover Dunwoody. Marshall Chiles here you're the owner of Laughing Skull, is that right?
That's right. Owner and king.
And king, okay. And so owner and king is helping put together this thing for create Dunwoody, and it's called the Dunwoody Village Comedy Festival. And this thing blew up like out of nowhere. You said it's been a year in the making, but it seems like it all just popped up and you guys are selling out shows. You added 2 more. Tell us about this event, where it all came from.
Yeah. So Lauren Sock, who owns the physical therapy over there. Do you know what the name of her company is? Yep. I can't believe I'm forgetting. What is it?
No, but she's been on the podcast before. I should know it.
I'll look it up as we're talking.
Something like that. Yeah.
Functionalized medicine. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So Lauren Sock made an introduction because she's on the board of Create Dunwoody, and then we went over there. I did a bunch of, it feels like about a year ago. And we just looked at all the spaces and said, okay, we could do this, we could do that. And then we didn't pull the trigger. And then they came back to me and said, hey, we're ready to do this. Can we do these dates? That was about 6 months ago. And we got all the dates and they sold them all out. They've added shows. Those have sold out. I have friends of mine from Dunwoody saying, can you get us tickets? So, for next year, everybody needs to get their tickets soon. And you probably need to add more shows. But,
yes,
one of my theories is,
and what I love is, it's 4 different businesses too. So you're helping these businesses: Marlow's, Vintage, Barn, Chupito's. I mean, that's great for them.
Right. It's great. It's going to get more people in there. And, obviously Dunwoody loves to have a good time. I knew that already. They're going to laugh.
Especially around the village. The village is where the fun is.
That's right. They've done a great job with building a sense of community over there. And Create Dunwoody has been fantastic about everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's, they've got a good mission there. I've got a friend of mine that's working on building. We just did a festival with him on 30A down at Rosemary Beach, in Florida. Yeah. And he's working on all this stuff. And his terminology is building a cultural infrastructure, which is what Create Dunwoody's done. You guys got a great cultural infrastructure, which builds community.
Rosemary just took over there. You know that? She hasn't been there that long. She's made a huge difference in just a very short period of time.
So she's doing a great job.
Discover Dunwoody is dedicated to enhancing the visitor experience in our city. They actively seek feedback from visitors to improve services and ensure that they have a memorable stay here. From providing comprehensive guides on local attractions to making accommodations easy to find. So if you know somebody looking to stay in Dunwoody, remind them to check out discoverdunwoody.com/whatsupdunwoody for hotel options. By booking through that link, you'll be supporting this show and helping to promote our local businesses. So, let's make sure that every visitor leaves with unforgettable memories of our beautiful city. What can we expect? It's next weekend, right? Oh, this
correct. Well, it's this coming weekend. This coming weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can expect a lot of laughs. We do a showcase model, so you're going to see, I think 8 comics doing 10 minutes each.
Okay,
something like that, and that's what we do, and so people love it because you get the short attention span theater. You get a variety of things, and and if you don't like the comedian on stage, don't worry, they're almost done. So
is there a hard thing. R rating to this, or is it family friendly? Or it depends on the comic, probably.
PG-18. I mean, typically, I don't really like a lot of blue comedy. If it's a really dirty show, we're going to promote, hey, this is a dirty show. That's what we did down in Florida. There's, certain places in Florida that loved the dirty show. Other places did not,
Yeah.
But no, this is going to be, it's PG-18 and above. You'll hear some curse words, you'll hear some sexual references, but it's nothing like Andrew Dice Clay from the 80s or anything like that.
Right. We kind of actually knew some of the same people. Paul Ollinger you said is a good friend of yours, and he came on the podcast long time ago. My co-host here, Justin Dyke, put together it was pretty much just like a big party. It was called Rock the Woody. And he had known a few random comedians from different places. And we got all these people to come out there. Hank Denson was another one. You know that name?
Hank's great.
Yeah.
And
so they all
Paul.
came out. Yeah, so is Paul. And they entertained, man. Everybody was just dying. I think it might have been above 18, but it was definitely fun. A lot of fun. And comedy, just in general, seeing comedy live is so much better than like watching it on a a set or a movie or that kind of thing. I've seen Aziz, I've seen Chappelle, and we saw Brian Regan the other day. Like I've seen a lot of comedians, and they're always way funnier in person than than the recordings.
It's a different energy, man. It's just
Yeah,
like when you're with a group of people and you're all laughing, it's great. And so what I've learned, I've been doing this for 24 years. I used to own the Funny Farm Comedy Club up in Roswell. Now I've got Laugh and Skull for 15 years. I've done festivals. I've toured. I do stuff, and it's one of the most interesting things I've learned is you can do the exact same show with the exact same audience, but one or two people up front crossing their arms and
laughing.
just being negative changes
Yeah,
the energy. Right.
really.
And so like when most of the time when comedians are saying, wow, you guys are a great crowd, they mean it. Like our
Yeah,
Saturday, 8 o'clock at Laugh and Skull this past Saturday night at Laugh and Skull Lounge was on fire. And that's what the comedians like, oh, the audience is on fire. It's not like, oh, so-and-so killed. That's how comedians talk. It's like, dude, this
yeah,
audience sucks. There's somebody over there that's talking. That's why you're not supposed to talk during comedy shows. It distracts. It really brings down the experience for everybody. Just because you want to talk, get the hell out of
yeah,
here.
yeah. So you've probably got this whole organization of comedians to choose from. Like how do people perform at Laughing Skull? Let's start there.
Well, it's a process. We get that question a lot from comedians. So you got to work your way up, and then after you've
Yeah.
done well around for a while, you do our open mics. We have 3 open mics a week, Monday through Wednesday. And so if you do well on there a couple times, and we know you're doing well at other shows around town, because we watch everybody around we don't watch every single show, but we have great feelers and we know what's going on. Then you get a guest spot on Sunday night. If you do well in the guest spot, then you come back and do a guest spot on a Thursday night. If you do well,
Okay.
then you're passed at the club. So comedians in Atlanta, that's like the biggest thing they can do in Atlanta, or second biggest thing they can do in Atlanta is get passed at Laughing Skull. And then after that, they get into the Laughing Skull Comedy Festival, because that's when we bring in like 30 industry that can change their careers, that have changed
Yeah.
their careers. We've had a lot of big people come through. And
Yeah.
so
Is that once a year?
yeah, once a year. Nowadays, it's in October. After the pandemic, we moved it to October. We get like 1,000 comedians that submit. We take the top 50.
Okay.
So it's
Cool.
pretty
Yeah, I'd love it if you
exclusive.
sent me that information when the show ends. Send me that information. I'll put that out too. That's
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
great.
Um, yeah. And so, I mean, what does it take to be a comedian? Like, do you get up on stage? I assume you are a mildly funny guy if you own a
Yeah,
comedy
yeah.
lounge,
So
right?
I started off as a road comic, and typically the common denominator of comedians being that are good are a bad childhood.
Oh yeah. Lots of
It's
stories.
lots of pain. Comedy comes from suffering. I think Chris Rock said comedians are no longer funny when they stop riding the bus.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you got this struggle, and it's comes from a lot of pain. And yes, I do stand up. It's like I said, I started off as a road comic, and then I started dating my wife, and then I started comedy. So she was with me from day one and beyond. And then I we had these conversations of like, I don't like this. And I was like, okay. So I figured out, I started, about Funny Farm Comedy Club, built that up, saw the writing on the wall, then started Laughing Skull. Because my concept was like, I want to perform stand up and sleep in my own bed at night, which has
Yeah.
been great. I've gotten to do that. I drive my kids to school. I got to coach little league soccer and baseball and all kinds
That's
of good
cool.
stuff. So it's been a good balanced life.
Smart idea. And you've got a business instead of just being the business, got a business to
That's
work
right.
on. Yeah.
That's right.
And you get to know these comedians pretty well. Or
Pretty much after a
do they
while.
work for you? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time coming to get to know them, because there's so many. Like we have over
yeah.
100 past comedians,
Oh
and then on
wow.
our open mic list is over 1,200, over 1,300, something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm nice to everybody, and everybody's nice to me. But as far as like getting close to people, it takes a while, because you might not be around, and who knows? I've got my life. I'm going to come to the club, hang out, do my spots, and leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love comedians.
Yeah.
They're cowboys of today, in my opinion, and philosophers. They're modern day philosophers and
Yeah.
cowboys.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to see Nate Bargatze later in the year when he comes, and I mean, what he's selling out is now just stadiums full of people. It's just insane.
2 shows at State Farm Arena. I've got a cabana. Me and a bunch of I'm with 3 families. Each family has 4 people. We got a cabana
Oh, that's
to
cool.
go and see Nate. Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
Him, Shane Gillis, obviously the old guards of Chappelle and what have you. But I mean, those 2 guys are just so great.
Yeah,
Shane
they really
Gillis
are.
actually did my festival in 2016.
Oh, wow. On his way up, huh?
Yeah, on his way up.
That's really cool. Is this, I mean, are you living the dream of a lot of, maybe not the top comedians, but as comedians are coming up, do they look at you and be like, oh, that's really cool, he owns his own shop? Be able to,
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, because it's a great balanced life. I mean, sure, there's people that have stars in their eyes and they want the adulations of, millions of followers and selling out stadiums and stuff, which is great if you can get it. But I took a path of
it's
I love
1% of the
stand up.
1% that are doing
That's
that,
right.
you know?
That's right. So I was like, I'm going to build my own world. I do stand up. I love stand up. I get to spend time with comedians, and then I'm going to bed at night on my own bed next to my wife and, or couch, depending on what's going on. But it's a good life. Yeah, I'm very
That's
happy with
awesome.
it.
That's awesome.
So
Okay.
it's all about the Curate Dunwoody and the Comedy Festival this weekend. They've done a great job, and I'm very happy to work with them. And I'm excited to see what future years look like. That's going to be the fun part. Like, what
Yeah.
does this look like 3-5 years from now?
Oh, I hope this is the beginning of it because I don't have a ticket to any of these shows. So maybe I might be calling
Yeah.
you. Now that I've got your phone number, I may be calling you for the hookup.
We could
That's,
spread it out over 2 weekends, really.
yeah, you really could. And I mean, I think that the Village has so many different businesses that would love to, and be part of this. I don't know how many they talk to, but that's a great little area because you can walk back and forth. And so I saw that 2 of them are on Saturday night. Are those spaced out, or you just have that many comedians?
Yeah, they're spaced out. I mean, it's an 8. I think it's an 8 and a 10:30 show or something like that. I don't know if you have the
Okay.
website, if you can give the correct times for people.
Yeah, it
But
says 8 to 9 on all the other ones, so I'm assuming it's probably after that.
yeah, that's
The
right. So it's
second one.
8 to 9, then a 10 o'clock probably, or but yeah, that's right. We're doing hour shows for these, so probably have like 6 comics plus the host. Do everybody doing some 8 minutes? But
Okay. Are you going to get up
very.
there?
Oh yeah, I'll be up there. I've got a bunch
Nice.
of new stuff I'm working on. So, I guess I want to give a shout out to my buddy that's in Dunwoody, Steve Wiley, and say hello to him and his crew. And
Well, thanks for
Steve,
being part of all this Dunwoody stuff.
yeah, I love it. Like I said, I really like Dunwoody. I know you guys have done a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend, and as well as like what happens down the road.
Yes, yes. Well, if this, if something falls between the cracks and they don't get back to you next year, I'm going to call you. We'll put it together. So
I'd
this
be
will be
very
fun.
surprised if they don't want to do this again. So
The way that it's gone so far, it seems like it's an easy win for them.
that's right.
But yeah, it was good talking to you, man. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for supporting Dunwoody.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Thank you for everything. I'll talk to you later.